Here we are again, and we're going to put together the quick attach frame for the tree puller. I started by laying out the vertical components of the quick attach frame on the upper and lower rails. After I got those done, I went on to the side rails and I laid out the location of the tubing and scribed it into the side plates so I could assemble it more precise. Once that was all done, I assembled it together and squared it up so I could tack the first end. When I was done and happy with that, I moved on to the second end. After I tacked the first side in, I moved on to the second end, squaring up as I went. Once I got it where I was happy with it, I went ahead and tacked the tubing to the frame tube. After I got the initial frame squared out, all the tubing in position, I went ahead and tacked it more thoroughly, just so it wouldn't fall apart on me. Got the first side done, I flipped it over and used a bar clamp to pull the frame rails sides in and tack it again on the back side. When I got it all tacked up, I wanted to check the squareness of the overall frame, so I got out my tape measure and checked from corner to corner, and it was right on. So all the pre-work squaring up the sides with the speed square worked out fairly well. I was happy with the results. That being said, with the squareness all done, I decided to go back through and tack again to make sure it wasn't going to move anywhere. By the way, I'm using an old Lincoln buzz box with a 6061 and at 120 amps. The reason I like that is it strikes really easy and it's good for tacking. It's a little hard to clean up, but not too bad when you're just tacking with it. After I got the frame all square, I turned it back over. So now I'm working on the back side to attach that top angle piece for the quick attach. As near as I can tell from my research on the internet, that top angle piece that's on the quick attach is at about 45 degrees. So what I used was a 3/8 thick by 1.5 inch piece of hot roll. It was the full length, and I used my speed square to get it at the angle, and I lined up the edge of the bar with the straight edge on the tubing and then tacked it in place. Now that I got it in position, I'll just finish up tacking, then I can move on to the next step, trying it out on the tractor. Well, that didn't work so well. So now I'm going to go investigate what's the problem with the fit. I picked it up by hand and tried to fit it on there, and it seemed like it should have worked. I'm not really sure why it didn't. So I'm going to try to put it on by hand and try to lift it up. I got it to go on the quick attach, and I've noticed that it's not seating on the one side. So in the next scene, I'm going to explain what happened, why that's going to not work. All right, that was the moment of truth. It was a fail. But I think the reason it's a fail is because this needs to be angled back for clearance against that thing, the red thing. So I don't think that's going to be too hard to do. So before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and put that clearance on there. Once I figured out what I needed to do to get that clearance, I got out my new plasma cutter that I've never used before. I just got it a couple days before. Figured out that I was going to run it on 220, but I didn't have enough extension cord to get it out of the garage. So I'm right at the opening of the garage to get the plasma cutter to work. And it seemed pretty neat. After I was done figuring out how to use it, I got the first cut done. This is how I position the lower brackets. I clamped the frame on once I got it to work right, and then I just put these brackets on the lower frame and clamped them in place so I could tack them before welding them more thoroughly. I got the frame welded up. Getting ready to weld on the solid jaw. It's 30 inches long, 3x3 by 1/4 inch tube. I'm just going to tack it for now because I'm going to tack it strong, but I just want to square it up and get it on there so I can start building the movable jaw. This will give me a good point of reference.